Welcome to another edition of your guest, the Joel Davis Media Network. I'm your host, Joel Davis. If your first time tuning into the broadcast, do me a favor. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell up top. Please like and share. Please like and share. With that being said, let's jump into today's festivities, man. Breaking news, breaking news. Uh, the Supreme Court of the United States, aka SCOTUS, will allow Texas police to arrest migrants suspected of illegally crossing the border. Now, before we get involved into this, let's talk about it. So, y'all guys know for the past couple of months that Texas governor, uh, my man's Greg Abbott, has been going through it, trying to get things approved to be able to arrest migrants that have been coming into this country illegally, especially at the border of Texas. Now, you know that those border areas are Eagle Pass, Brownsville, Texas, just to name a few. Now, when he first started this whole thing of allowing the police officers to arrest and detain these illegals, liberals started screaming out, "You can't do that! You're going against people's human rights!" and rah, 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 rah. All right. Now, give me 1 second. Let me approve a link. Don't go nowhere. I'm not done. So when they did this, they decided to go ahead on here and take it to the powers that be, the Supreme Court. Y'all already know how that goes. They went to the Supreme Court. Went to the federal court of Texas. So the federal judge that was a part of the Biden administration turned around and said, "Oh no, you guys can't do that." So they blocked them from trying to arrest these illegal immigrants coming into the country. Then after that, well, the ruling that they had was for a limited time. It expired, and then once again, the court, the federal court of Texas federal court, extended the block. As soon as that happened, that the Biden administration reason for doing this was the Senate Bill 4, right? It was supposed to be some core federal authority on immigration. So basically they're saying, listen, y'all overstepping y'all line. We got a bill in place from the Senate that says only we can tell the states that, or especially on the borderlines of how to allow illegal immigrants come in the country. Y'all don't have that power. You're only a state. We're federal. We'll do that. We allow that. That's our job, not yours. Okay. So, Texas Attorney General uh, Ken Paxton argued, look, this is a state law that's mirrored federal law and should be put in place to compensate for the incompetence of Biden administration. So we're sending this up to the Supreme Court. So the Supreme Court heard the case and made a ruling today and like, listen, guys, don't you understand what's going on at the border right now? We got people in this country that are being uh, taken advantage of criminally and negligently, and even losing their life because of this excessive amount of criminals coming across the border. There needs to be a stop to put to this, and if this is the only way it can be done, is by the actual state themselves. Let's do it. Let's the states handle it. And you already know what's about to happen. It's about to be some backlash because the liberal media don't want to hear that, because that goes into the favor of why Donald J. Trump is leading the polls, because he's saying the same thing. We need to put a crackdown on this nonsense, because right now we have immigrants getting food stamps, housing. They're now getting yeah, this just happened, bro. This just happened. We got, again, immigrants getting food stamps, housing. They are able to get jobs now without you. I don't even think without a work visa at this point. In some states, uh, they even about to get hooked up, and someone says that they're talking about proposing immigrants to legally own a gun. Now, I want you to let that sit in your head. You got someone that's not from your country, ain't even started the road process of being a citizen, but yet still they're getting access to things that you, as a natural born citizen, have access to. Getting a gun, I want you to listen to that. Getting a gun, that is in talks. I don't know if it's in the works yet. In fact, let me see what I think this is in Colorado. They're doing this. Let me make sure I'm right, guys. Hold on. Let me go to this page here. Yeah, y'all. I'm giving y'all news on the PS5 today. I'm getting high tech around this month. I just didn't feel like going, because my wife is still doing her computer work, so for school. So I was like, yo, I'll get on the PS5. Yeah, so let's join into this, man. Let's see which state that just did this. There's a state I'm quite sure that just said, yeah, of course. Those two justices are sticking to the American Constitution. They understand it to its full extent. Shout out to those two justices. That's right. They are national treasures. Justice Thomas and Justice Alito are national treasures. They're sticking to the Constitution, to the uh, to the extent of the law. Now, I'm going to try to bring this up, guys, because this is important. I want to tell y'all what state. I want to say it's Colorado. Just give me a moment. I'm letting it load. But I'm quite sure recently there is a judge that has allowed immigrants to be okay to access guns. Let me see which one that is. Give me one moment here. All right. Let me see what judge this is. Okay, yeah, it is. Hold on, and I'll tell you what date this came out too. This was actually a couple of days ago. Yeah, a couple of days ago, I think. Actually, yesterday that came out. The federal judge in Illinois has said to everybody that it is okay for illegal immigrants in their state to have access to guns with their Second Amendment rights. Now, here's my thing about Illinois. I'm quite sure I was told that Illinois is supposed to have some of the toughest gun laws there is to even require to get a weapon, especially in Chicago. So I don't know. That's crazy. I just what I'm trying to figure out. Why are we allowing illegal immigrants to have amendment rights to protect themselves with guns and stuff? They're not even a citizen. You're not a citizen. You're a visitor here. You ain't even proved yourself yet. You don't even know my customs yet. You don't even know the national anthem. You ain't even put in work to start the American dream. And you already talking about you trying to have firearms. You want to be able to possess a gun in my country? Make it make sense. That's all I'm saying, bro. Make it make sense. Wow. That's crazy. But that's what's going on. That's what's happening in Illinois. And I think Colorado may be following suit. But getting back to the topic at hand, I'm glad that this gives Texas the authority now to stop the influx of immigrants coming in on their side. Now, I don't know what they're gonna do. I don't know what they're gonna do in Arizona. I don't know what they're gonna do in California. You know, with California, they're gonna let them rock. But but give me 1 second. All right, I'm back. But anyway, man, yeah, it's crazy. I never thought that I would see something like this in my life. That we had to go to the Supreme Court to actually get an approval of something that could protect the country. But that's what we've been seeing lately, guys. This is the new America that we all are seeing. Common sense and in the preserve of the American history and values has gone out the window. It's all about a free fall, and it's just disgusting to me. To the maximum extent. Now, while I got y'all here, I'm also going to touch base on a couple of other subjects. I couldn't fit it all in the title, but I am going to talk about Trump in the bloodbath statement he made and my opinion on it. To me, I think it's retarded that we have everyone losing their mind on the word bloodbath. And it's absolutely retarded. Yeah, I said the R word, don't care, and ridiculous that we are actually going up here and trying to create a false narrative. What's up, Brim Time? Let me tell y'all something here, man. And I say this with conviction. I agree with Trump on the bloodbath. And let me tell you why. Our economy right now is at a very, very bad state. And let me tell you about that bad state. That bad state is the fact of the matter we have inflation, we have the housing market doing horribly, we have the job market is not doing as courageous as everyone is saying. Automakers right now are walking around probably on high blood pressure medicine and also asthma medication and other medications to keep themselves from falling over by the time they look at sales of their gas vehicle products evaporated because people they want the Biden administration want people to drive these electric vehicles. You got people running around here saying that America should encourage $50 a month for minimum, $50 an hour for minimum wage. I mean, it's straight chaos right now with common sense not being anywhere involved. And to see that the liberal media is trying and grasping at straws, trying to create another panic. Now they're trying to say that Trump is trying to encourage a J6. How you get bloodbath from J6? Not to mention, okay, let's talk about J6. No, not even talk about J6. Let's talk about the actual meaning of bloodbath. Bloodbath has been used in the term of the economic uh, area of the United States of America for the past, oh my God, years. Ever since the 1930s, it's been talked about. When the market crashed, it tells you that it's talking about an economic disaster. And it is, because if our auto industry messes up, guess what's going to follow suit? All these other industries are going to go right along with it. You got the housing market, everything. What's going on, Mr. Nice Guy, man? So to me, how in the world can you tell me that the statement he made was going to ignite what you call a division in America? See, this is what they can't stand. I'll be right back, y'all. Let me get my ear on, make sure my ear's on. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. So this is what they can't stand, guys. They can't stand the fact of the matter is that America is waking up. All right. The whole I want to create chaos to make you go and vote the way we want you to vote from CBS, ABC, CNN, MSNBC is not working anymore. It's not. People has realized that this is a bunch of malarkey. Like really, this is rubbish. I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not falling for that line. So liberals don't have no other play card. They can't use Biden as this excitable change. They can't use Kamala Harris as his sidekick that's going to encourage the excitable change. They don't have no other strategy. So they're trying to take everything that Trump says and try to make it into a panic. And all they're doing is actually marketing for the man. They really are. They're marketing for the man. In fact, they're marketing for the man so much that we done already talked about this on this channel. There's almost about 30% of black Americans with men and women combined talking about voting for Trump because they're tired of the economy. And out of that 30%, there has been an increase of black men support, about 40% of that 30% that wants to vote for Trump because they're tired of their pockets being slighted. And then we got this other phenomenon that I meant to touch about the NAACP. Because you see, I ain't gonna be able to do a show tonight because I gotta get to work so early in the morning while I'm telling you about these little tidbits now. The NAACP, guys, was a mockery. It was a mockery. And I'm gonna get back to it. Hold on for 1 second, guys. I got one more thing to do. Hold on. Don't leave me. Oh man, Kayon, great question. Why would I vote for Trump? And I'm back before I jump into this spill. You know why I would vote for Trump, Kayon? Because what the hell do we have to lose? Look at what's going on with the economy right now. Look at the economy right now, Mr. Kayon or Mrs. Kayon, whoever you are. We got a situation where you as a citizen, no matter what race you are, naturally born in this US of A, you are considered last. You considered last. Because right now you got illegal immigrants coming in this country. When I say illegal immigrants, we're not talking about Mexicanos. We're not just talking about some people that comes from uh, what's that other place everybody likes to talk about? Haiti. We're not talking about the ones that's coming from Asia. No, they're not, Kaon. And let me tell you why all economies are not going, but all countries not going through the same economy that we are. See, we are the epicenter of the greatest economy of the world. Okay. When we were under Trump, we had reserve oil that made our gas low. When we were under Trump, everybody had a chance to be able to be a part of the affordable housing program if you made a certain less amount of money, ran by one of the most intelligent men of all time, Dr. Ben Carson, who liberals still try to make a joke of because he a black man that know how to do surgery, but yet still he was very intelligent. Now let's talk about our international relationship with everyone back during that time. Why did Putin never act the damn fool the whole time that Trump was in position of power? I tell you why. Because Putin knew that Trump did not have any problems going to the next level if you try some stupid stuff. Remember General Salami, Mr. I want to plot against every chance I get for the Iraqi general that caused so many lives, even in Benghazi? You can look that up too. Guess who was the one to put a stop to that madness? Trump. And when Trump did it, everybody was like, oh, the Israeli is going to come after Trump. Oh my God, we're going to go to war. They only shot like 5 or 6 or 7 missiles. And you can look this up at our base. We only lost 1 casualty compared to when we lit their ass up. They lost multiple casualties. And then they stopped. And then they said, you know what? We're just gonna put $1 million price on his head. Oh, so now I thought you was gonna stand up for Salami. You said you was gonna get it back, but you backed down. You know why? Because people like these Iraqis and all of them, they all tough until a real gangster come into the room. You ever heard that quote? Everybody's a gangster till a real gangster come in the damn room. But that's how Trump was. When Trump came into the room, people knew what it was. Same thing with North Korea. North Korea guy, he talked all that mess. Yeah, he called him Rocket Man, but guess what he was doing behind the scenes? He was also telling Rocket Man to get it together. You know why they were lower at the start when Trump left office? And let's talk about that, Kayon. That was because we had the pandemic and everything else going on. See, that's what kills me about a lot of the mainstream media. They don't tell you guys that. They want you to think that the things that Biden came into was already screwed up when it really wasn't. Biden just made it worse. When Trump left, plenty reserves, all that. What did Biden do the first time he got in the office after the inauguration? I'm going to help you out. You can research that. He signed a total of 100 plus executive orders, the most written executive orders you ever seen in your life. And guess what they were all towards? making your life a living hell. Now all of a sudden we getting into oil reserves. We're not drilling for no more oil anymore. Now they're working, focusing on clean energy. We don't even have a grid enough to do clean energy. Then he focuses on this EV bill to try to make sure that your ass and my ass and all us other Americans pay an average of 50 damn grand for a brand new electric car. When the average American under his regime right now is barely clocking in 25,000 a year. When you was under Trump, the average American was clocking in 38,000 a year. Make it make sense. That's all I'm saying, bro. I'm not trying to be funny. I'm not trying to dish your intelligence. If you're a libertarian or a liberal, that's you, and that's great. I'm glad we're having this conversation. But I want you to research what you are looking at. Now let's talk about schools issues. Because since you on the platform, you want to learn today, I'm gonna give you a brief lesson, real quick, in a hurry. When we was under Trump, our kids learned about education. They learned about what was going on, what they supposed to do. Sex ed was normal. No, Claude, no, let him. He's got to know, son. He's asking a question because he's curious. He's curious. See, when people ask that, why vote for Trump, they're curious. Because 9 out of 10, they're seeing something that is making them also ask that question themselves. Because they're not satisfied with what's going on right now. See, I used to be all combative when people ask me that, but now I'm not. Because a lot of times, a lot of people now are starting to realize there's some horse shit going on in the country. And they just trying to figure out, well, the media is telling me that the best choice is this guy that's in there right now, but the guy that's in here right now is walking like a freaking zombie. So what is going on? What am I missing? So that's where we, as conservatives, that's when we give them the educational part of what's going on. Because if they're coming at us in peace and asking us reasonable questions, it is up to us to teach. And they can either take the information or they can just go ahead on and enjoy their day. That's what we're supposed to do. That's just what it was in the Bible when people asked about Christianity. You know, Jesus never turned them away. He gave them the information and let them go from there. And that's what I'm doing to Kaon. Now that's what it is, Kaon. That is, again, what you're reading is from Google and all that stuff. Think about that. That's all mainstream media stuff. They control that. Trump is not a racist. In fact, if Trump was such a racist, Kaon, then why in the early 2000s, all the way up to 2014, and you can research this yourself, every rapper, every entertainer wanted to be in the rub the elbows with Donald J. Trump. They wanted to hang with Trump. They want a picture with Trump. They even invited Trump to speak. And in fact, you know, if he's such a racist, why back in the 80s, after the Part 5 that everybody claimed that Trump was so racial about, then why in the world did the Rainbow Coalition had him as a special guest and told everybody that he not only were they a success story, but he's also a very instrumental part of inspiring black people. I'm just saying. Now that was back in the 80s. You can research that. Now let's talk about him and his father was taken to court in the 70s for being a racist and a slumlord, and they lost. Let's talk about that. Okay, back then in the 70s, what was going on in the 70s? We had the Black Panther movement. We had people already researching affirmative action, right? Okay. Now, Trump and his father was a hard man, way harder than Trump. I wouldn't say he was racist. I just say in his mind, he just didn't care related to a lot of poor people. Unlike Trump, Trump was the opposite. In fact, that's why Trump and his father kind of had an okay relationship. It wasn't like the best of the best, and you can hear that in his book. But his father actually favored his Trump's older brother who wound up drinking himself to death and committed suicide. But excuse me, deleting itself. My bad. I ain't want to get my stuff flagged, but I digress. Either way it goes, in the 70s back then, it was easy to go and manipulate a situation to where somebody was being overly racist and win. I mean, come on. Think about a lot of these cases that won. And again, that was in the 70s. But let me ask you this, since we're talking about the 70s, because this is a good question too. What about Biden? When Biden said that he did not want any of his children to be going into school with other black kids from lower income areas when they first started talking about desegregating in all of the northern areas. Let's talk about that. Is that considered Biden being a racist? In fact, let's talk about Biden being friends with the Ku Klux Klan member that was a recruiter for years for the Ku Klux Klan in the South and in the Southwest. You can look it up. It's public. It's public knowledge. And let's talk about this, Colin. I don't know if you're black, white, or whatever. How would you feel if you was on a talk show with someone and they told you that if you did not vote for them, that you're not black, or you're not white, you're not Hispanic, you're not Asian, you're not indigenous people, indigenous, or whatever you want to call yourselves, people. You would be upset, wouldn't you? Probably would. You would feel very disrespected. So I'm just saying, the proof is in the pudding, Kanye. You can go by the little bit of BS they got about Trump and look at the real results, or you can rock with Biden and keep seeing the disaster that is in your face every day. In fact, the disaster is so apparent. I want you to look up every liberal city right now that is ran by the mayors. Exactly, Cal. And let me tell you why they did that, Kaon. Again, those especially in those cities, I want you to look those cities up that did it the most. I mean, the big southern cities and everything. They were all ran by liberal infractions. There was a liberal controlling the economic division. I want you to look at what Malcolm X said about the liberal people, the liberal white folks, back in the 1960s, and this has been the truth ever since. He said that liberals do not care about black folks. That's right. They create fear. They create stupidity. And they make you feel like you fool when you think for yourself. And Kayon, I'm glad you found my channel. I don't know where you at in your life, but I hope my channel gives you the information that you need to make a informed decision for yourself. I don't care if you don't want to be a conservative. I don't care if you decide to be a libertarian or a blue dog Democrat, whatever you are. I hope my channel gives you insight that this progressive left that's going on right now is out of control. If we can agree on that, that's half of the battle. In this channel here, we don't promote victimhood. We don't promote stupidity. We don't promote fear. We promote the American people. Common sense. And common sense is like this. At the end of the day, people lie all the time, but kids and money don't. And that's what we do on this channel. I wouldn't say that because let me tell you something, Brim Tom. If Kayon is brainwashed and far too long, he would not be having this conversation with us. See, that's the thing y'all got to understand about the liberals that are now coming and opening their eyes slowly and getting red pill. They come to these channels like this. They start with the small channels like this, and they listen, and they start looking, observing, answering, asking the questions that they've been asking their liberal friends for years and they find out that those answers that they be getting from their liberal friends are not adding up to what's actually happening in real time. So it's okay. Kayon, you welcome to come on this show anytime and listen, brother, or sister, whoever you are. You are, you know what? You can even email me. Anything you need a question about or want to ask me about, that's where we at. Because I'm about promoting truth. If you ask me in a respectable manner, I'm going to come at you in a respectable manner. So yeah. So yeah, Kayon, I appreciate you for coming on, man. And that's what we got to start doing, guys. No matter if you run a show or not, whether you do mainstream media or not, content creation or not, if you got somebody in your circle, family, friends, or co-worker that hangs out with you or whatever and asks questions, that's what you do. See, there you go. You're a normie, as they would call. Yeah, and it's fine, Cam. It's fine. Like I said, brother, it's fine. A lot of people didn't vote until recently, and that's good. Mr. Nice Guy, you good, bro. I understand where you coming from. And hey, and don't be intimidated by some of my fans on here that believe in the conservative movement. It's just that they've been through a lot with a lot of people that try to troll us and try to make us look like we're some crazy people and we're not. We're just trying to teach people so they understand what's going on. Because that's the problem. It seems like because the mainstream media don't want to teach the normies about how things are going on in this country. They want to teach you the fear part. They want to sell you an illusion. They're not going to tell you, example given, there was a young girl, white girl, got her head beat in, bashed in, and slammed, and is right now on life support fighting her life. But the media is not going to talk about that because it's a black girl involved and she slammed the white girl's head in. They're not going to talk to you about that the white girl is also an honor student. She was also a part of the Beta Club. She was also intelligent. She also came from a good home. I think she came from a single parent home like the black girl did. But still, she came from a decent single parent home. Exactly, Claude agree. They're not going to talk about that. But if the roles were reversed, oh, you would hear it. You would hear it. Let me tell you another narrative that you're not hearing. Just like I didn't even report on this story because I didn't know nothing about it. What happened in Alabama when 6 white cops came inside a black residence, right? Went inside this black residence because some neighbor told them they felt like that these black men that were been paying their rent, minding their business, was taking advantage of a white woman. These cops went and brutalized these guys for 2 hours. Even deleted one guy's tongue out of his mouth. He'll never be able to eat properly again. And they even did some SA violations on these guys. 6 large white guys. Okay. And we know about Mississippi. We know it's been racist. Well, I mean, that's nothing new. We already knew that. But why didn't mainstream media not talk about it? And I'll tell you why. Because Mississippi already fits the bill of their agenda. It's always been racist and only been liberally controlled in its little regions. The only time it gets conservative is on the state level. And the only reason why it gets conservative on the state level, because they're more conservatives in the larger cities of Mississippi. And let's talk about that, why it got more attention, it got less attention than the black guy that got beat up by the other black guys. And I tell you why. Because the Tennessee thing got more coverage because it happened in an all-black city like Memphis, Tennessee, and it was black guys beating up on another black guys, and the ones doing the beating were in uniform. That's why I got more attention. See how the media picks and collects? And you know what's even crazy? They just sentenced the white guys today, and they got 20 years in prison for federal, and they got to also do about 5 years in state. So altogether, they got to do a combined, I think, about 25 years. But you're not going to hear about it because, again, it's from an area where the narrative's already been established, and it's on an area where the narrative is expected. They want to create fear and show you things that where it's unexpected and spin it out of control. You get what I'm getting with this? And it's sad. It really is. Because I think both stories deserve the same amount of energy. I mean, you ain't heard no word from the ambulance chaser Crump. Crump didn't even go over there. You would think Crump would be all over that story. You would think that Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton would have a gang of people marching up and down Rankin County, Alabama. I mean, ain't Rankin County, Mississippi, excuse me. Sorry, Alabama. But you know why they ain't gonna do that? Because the narrative's already fit. You know, they're like, they're not gonna take hold of this. They already know that Mississippi been racist for years, and we can't make money off that. But we can make money off that Memphis, Tennessee one. Make it make sense. Same scenario, different names, but same scenario. Yep, you're right. Fear is the one thing that changes people, Kanye. Fear is the one thing that changes people. Now, let me get back to the last topic before I call it a day for the stream of the day with y'all. And again, I'm loving this. I love when we get to have these conversations. Let's talk about the NAACP awards, aka the liberals making black Americans fall in line awards. So the first thing about that award, I saw some of the preview. I don't even see it. I just saw some of the highlights. I don't like that show. I haven't seen the NAACP awards in the last, since I became conservative 4 years, because I know it's a shit show. So first things first, you got Queen Latifah talking to Kamala Harris. They're trying to promote this black girl magic. Guys, let me tell you something. I hate when black liberal women try to promote this black girl magic, because their black girl magic is not real black girl magic. Real black girl magic is being able to think on your own, stand in the face of adversity, and upholding the men in America that are good. Not just on your culture, but every man that is decent and good. That's the problem with the black girl magic that the liberals try to sell you. They don't do that. They want you to feel like that they is always the victim and that nobody cares about them. Nobody. Which is farther from the truth, but I digress. Anyway, they had the nerve to talk about Taja P. Henson screaming out that she's not getting paid enough in Hollywood. Yeah. Now, guys, I understand that Hollywood is a hard industry. I've never been in it, and I can imagine the things you have to deal with, the snakes, the perverts, and all that to get roles. But Here's my thing. When you become successful in Hollywood, in music, even in YouTube, you officially become a business, right? So let's talk about businesses. We're gonna do a comparison right quick because I want to make it make sense to everyone that I'm talking to. When you go shop at Walmart and Sam's, you see there's quite a difference, right? To shop at Sam's, you have to pay a membership. Versus Walmart, you don't. Unless you want to get, the little Walmart Plus Pass, which is for deliveries and stuff, but I digress on that too. But anyway, you go out here and you get that. You get this, you go and you compare Walmart and Sam's. Okay, Sam's got a membership. They got more stuff. They got their own butcher in there. They got fresher foods. They got larger quantities. They're selling very high end jewelry. We're not talking about the whole Walmart jewelry, high end jewelry, Rolexes, Submariner Rolexes, stuff like that. They're selling real high end products and even appliances and all. Okay. You go to Walmart, you're gonna get your groceries, you're gonna get your standard appliance, your standard electronics, your standard appliances. And if you do get any kind of jewelry, it's gonna be a Walmart jewelry or maybe a decent real diamond at a reasonable price. But the diamond is probably from somewhere where it's not as expensive as the other diamonds around the world. You cannot make Walmart be as be exclusive and high as Sam's when it comes to jewelry. Because Walmart jewelry here is either basic or maybe averagely known. Versus Sam's jewelry, it is worldwide known. It is certified. It has a history to it. It has been proven that they sell the good stuff. So yeah, Walmart can't demand to get the perks and the money privileges and the bonuses that the Sam's employees get because they're not dealing with that type of stuff. And they're not working as hard. Same thing in Hollywood. You are paid by your worth in your box office. Taja P. Henson ain't even cracked $1 billion box office money yet. She hasn't. She ain't cracked no $1 billion. The most that girl cracked is about $683 million off of maybe 11 to 13 movies in her whole career. Versus all these other counterparts, Brad Pitt and these males in the industry. These guys are $1 billion box office holders. 1.5 billion, 2.6 billion. I mean, come on now. But they want equal pay. That's not how it works. You got to prove yourself to why you need to be paid all this amount of money. She talking about all I wanted was 500 grand at least. Well, you didn't get that because you ain't worth that to them. And let me tell you what else made me upset about that with Taja P. Henson is that she's not even understanding that the roles that these guys are playing are really leading roles. And they're so good in their leading roles, they don't need no. I'm gonna break it down to you like this. In fact, when she played uh, Acrimony, it was good, but it wasn't as good as somebody like a movie that Sharon Stone would play back in the day when she was a female fatale. See, that's another thing that they don't understand. It's the roles that you're playing too, and how what you bring to it. If you just gonna be a bitter, upset ex-wife that try to kill somebody, I mean, everybody knows that. That's classic. But if you like a Sharon Stone or Female Fatale, you could go from crazy, depressed women to you can dress up and wear some exotic stuff, or tell a man that's your therapist, hey, I'm sitting here to let you know right here, right now, I'm not wearing nothing underneath, something like that. That's a different vibe. That's like, oh wow, this woman here is out of control, man. Kind of like it. That's what these women don't understand. It's what you bring to the table for the audience. What is America searching for and going to buy? Now, she even got a great part from Oprah Winfrey's remake of The Color Purple. And she still talked about she didn't get paid enough. But then she busts out and say, well, I'm not trying to slight Oprah. Well, who are you trying to slight, Taja P? Because when I look at your net worth, honey, you're worth $45 million. Why are you crying about your money? If you're worth $45 million, you should be thankful that you got $45 million in assets and liquid assets as well. I mean, I don't understand this. And she's not the only one that does this. All these black women in Hollywood that's crying they're being underpaid. All of those ladies I'm looking up. Latifah, all them. They all are making an average of salary since they've been in the game of acting, no less than $25 million. Tell me how many Americans you know right here, right now, especially women that are in the entertainment, not even in the entertainment industry, that is in everyday living, making $25 million average net worth since they've been in the field of their prospective wheelhouses. That's what I'm saying. How? How are you oppressed with money? If I had that much money, I would not care about what they, long as they pay me a couple of mil, I'm good. I don't care. A meal, long as I get a meal plus, I'm good. Because I'm gonna make it back up. I'm gonna have businesses, investments. Acting's just gonna be fun for me. But they don't think that way. They don't want to think that way. They want you to make you understand victimhood and stress. So that way you could be fool enough to fall for that mess. And the next thing you know, you out here looking crazy. Like, yo, what am I doing out here? Why am I beefing with my landlord? Or why I'm beefing with my homeboy? And that's just facts. But anyway, guys, that's all I got for y'all for this live stream. I know it's been about an hour long, but I had to get it out because I know tonight I'm not gonna be able to do all that because I gotta go and lay down and get ready for work. I am off this weekend. Guys, listen, my birthday is coming up at the end of the month. So please, any donations that you want to share with your boy, it would be helpful. Y'all got my Cash App. I'll be posting my Cash App on my comment section. But if you can't, That's cool. Just share my stuff, man. Support your content creator more ways than one. Share my stuff. Comment on it. Oh, Kalyan, you missed that. I want you to do me a favor. Look back on the beginning of this video, and I will break that down to you what that meant. The bloodbath. It's right actually in the middle of the video. Before you came in. Check it out. Because I'm not gonna say it right now because that's repeating the thing. I'm gonna let you check it out yourself. And look up that definition while you can too. The Webster version before they turn around and take it off. Okay. But anyway, please like, share, subscribe. I need y'all to get in the comment section. Okay. And tell me, what do you think about the latest ruling of Texas? Do you think that this landmark ruling is going to help slow down all of this illegal entry in the US of A? Also, what do you think the liberals are going to say now about this new law? Are they going to act crazy? And last but not least, tell me what y'all think about what we just talked about on the NAACP awards. Do you really think that Taja P really oppressed? And oh yeah, I got one more tidbit, and I just thought about it, man, before I end the show. Another topic. So I know a lot of people want to know about the Fannie Willis update. What's happening now since Hot Dog Wade done removed himself out of the actual case? Well, right now it is current news. It happened, I think, yesterday when I got home yesterday evening. It was reported that Trump lawyers, his co-defendant lawyers, are all filing a motion to get Fannie Willis off the case as well. And the motion they are filing is for a higher judge to appeal the order that this Judge Scott issued and get it to where she's off the case too. Now, remember, if this happens, that means the whole office is off the case. And then they're going to have to decide who's going to take over the case. And for whoever's going to take over the case, they're not probably going to do it because that is a big case. And they would have to go through a lot of information on what was gathered during that time. And they also then said that the case is so shaky, and this is from even liberals in her field, they said that they wouldn't touch it because it's just a shaky case. So we'll see what happens, and I will keep y'all posted on that. But again, like, share, subscribe. I love y'all. You want to catch me for the rest of the day? I'll probably be gaming on my other channel, All American Mobile Gaming Live. I'm out.